I mean, we all know that there's supply chain challenges across all industries in retail right now, getting product. But, I want to start there to kind of see, what you've been tracking, how things are going, because I know that that's the one thing that's on top of everyone's mind.
Ending 2020, I mean, there were still a lot of questions. I mean, there's still a lot of questions today. If you were to ask me this 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I would tell you that we are rocking and rolling and getting back to pre-COVID shipping times and things of that nature. But we never thought we would have had this massive freeze across the majority of the US. And that has caused some supply chain issues that some of our manufacturers are going to be dealing with for the next couple of weeks.
Welcome into the Independent Thinking Podcast. This is your host, Rob Stott. Strap in for a fun one today, because anytime we get to have Mr. Jeff Rose, our director of furniture and bedding, on the podcast, it's going to be a good time. Jeff and I have put together many a podcast where we dive into a lot of different topics and we keep it interesting. He keeps me on my toes and vice versa, and just all around a good time. And happy to have him on ahead of Virtual PrimeTime here in March. And, as the F&B team's getting ready to launch a pretty awesome new initiative around Bed in the Box that we'll let Jeff dive into, but plenty to talk about. The last time Jeff, addressed the membership at Virtual PrimeTime in October, he gave a really awesome update on the status of the supply chain and how things were going there, and got down into some nitty-gritty details about different types of material and how that was impacting things, and just a really good state of the industry address that he took some time to give us some updates on. Let us know how things are going, preview a lot of what's to come for the rest of the year, and also talk about some of the investments that we're seeing in the space from our vendor partners and what that means for the industry, and just really a really great episode and a great interview, with Jeff to talk about how things are shaping up in furniture and bedding, as we are now 3 months almost into 2021. So, had a lot of fun with it. Hope to, share some great information with you guys that you can use in your businesses. So let's just go ahead and dive into our Independent Thinking Podcast with Jeff Rose. All right, we are back in on the Independent Thinking Podcast, and I love how we can do this and get it together in less than a week, Mr. Rose. You and I, all I have to do is call you up. Here we are, and it's an all-star performance. So are you ready for this?
Oh, you're making me blush. You're making me blush, Rob. So I love it, man. I love when you can, hey, Rose, we need some furniture and bedding information. I'm hearing a lot of good things. Let's get on a call and
let's do it.
You've been a major asset for Nationwide since you came on board. Just love all the podcasts you've been doing, just with all divisions and just with our entire network. And so just kudos to what you and Amy and just the team are doing. And hey, I love when F&B can be a part of it, man.
Absolutely. And thank you. And, when there's so many stories to tell, we have so much time, and to be able to tell them all is a lot of fun. And hearing from the team, hearing from the vendor community and our members, obviously, as well. So many great things happening in this space. And so I appreciate you coming on and taking the time to dive into some F&B business with us. So I know we got a lot to dive into. So
we do.
We're going to start deep. We're going to start deep in it.
I
know at the last primetime show, you gave quite an awesome update. Probably one of the most detailed updates I've heard. So you can tell that to your merchandising partners in crime.
Cool. I like it.
You really did it up at the last show, talking about, I mean, we all know that there's supply chain challenges across all industries in retail right now, getting product. But I mean, you went down to like the material level to talk about the things that were happening, and it was enthralling to listen to. It might sound crazy to be talking about, have those words about lumber and other materials and things like that, but
you just want me to say polypropylene one more time.
I do. That's what
all you want me to say.
That's all I wanted, and we got it. So now we can move on. No.
Yes.
But I want to start there to kind of see, what you've been tracking, how things are going, because I know that that's the one thing that's on top of everyone's mind, whether they're on the vendor side or the retailer side right now.
Yeah, no, it's a great place to start. It's on the minds of retailers every single day, and ending 2020, I mean, there were still a lot of questions, a lot of what's going on. And I mean, there's still a lot of questions today. If you were to ask me this 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I would tell you that on the betting side of things, we are rocking and rolling and getting back to where pre-COVID shipping times and things of that nature, but from 2020 to 2021, we never thought we had a pandemic. We never thought we would have had this massive freeze that just happened a couple of weeks ago across the majority of the U.S. And that has caused some supply chain issues, mainly on the phone side of things that some of our manufacturers are gonna be dealing with for the next couple of weeks. But I can definitely tell you, just from most of our manufacturers, they have, no pun intended, weathered the storm. There were so many challenges, Rob, that they were dealing with, just with chemicals that go into the foam, to the lumber, like we were saying on the last time we talked, that with the influx of the consumer demand, I mean, it just was pushing lead times out on the bedding side that we have never seen before. And we were able to get back at the beginning of the year, and they were really starting to catch up, and things are going. And then we had this freeze side of things, and TSI, mainly on the Stearns and Foster and Sealy side, they're going to see some challenges over the next couple of weeks. But they feel at mid-March they'll get back to some pre-COVID times, which is good thing. On the Corsicana side of things, they're back to commercial shipping policy times, which is about 4 to 7 days, which is a very positive things. And then same thing on the SSB side, they're pretty much back as well. But this freeze is gonna that happened with a lot of these pants that are dealing with a lot of the foam issues. It's going to push them a little bit, a couple of weeks, but I think they'll right the storm, and we'll be back. Tempur-Pedic, I know that's a major brand of all of ours, and they make their own foam, and they have their own supply right there, so they're not really dealing with a lot of issues. But the other ones, they're going to see some immediate issues a little bit, but after a couple of weeks, we'll be back. But
so for those not, I'm sure people listening to this are probably familiar, but the less informed out there, is it a supply? Is it the amount, with the foam issue that you're talking about? Is it an amount? Is it the fact that there's demand for it, or is it actually how, the production?
It's actually how it's, because it's how it's made. I mean, there's different chemicals. I don't want to get into the TDI chemicals and just all that kind of stuff, but there's plants off the Gulf Coast that they were dealing with hurricanes when last year. And then they got this hard freeze that just happened throughout that Gulf Coast region that is causing, these plants that produce these chemicals. I saw some pictures. I mean, they were just frozen, locked up, and had to completely shut down. And
wow,
the consumer demand is so strong right now. If they're even a day where they can't produce, I mean, it just compounds the issue. And we're not going to be dealing. We're not going to be dealing with what we were seeing back in the August, September, that time range. But, it's amazing that once we get ahead, it's like we're taking a step back a little bit, just Mother Nature,
Right.
And, but for the I don't want to cause alarm to anybody. I mean, it's just, it's not going to be as bad as it was, but there is going to be a few, we are in some foam allocations that some of these manufacturers are having to put on some of their products and things of that nature. But, the good thing is, just for our retailers, is the consumer demand is still so strong right now. And,
right.
I know we'll get into that here, I'm sure shortly, but, orders are still coming in strong. Nationwide is performing so well right now, with both TSI, SSB, even Corsicana. So that's awesome, and speaks a lot to what our members are doing, just how they're advertising, using digital, so many upgrades on websites, things of that nature. And so they're getting out to reaching that consumer that is still buying today. Supply chain is still top of mind, but, we're going to get there, everybody. We really are. So just keep on doing what you're doing. So.
Right. And you alluded to it, but that increased demand obviously has resulted in performance in this space, as again you talked about, just outpacing the industry in so many ways. It's unbelievable. but also resulting in these manufacturers being able to make some pretty awesome investments, in their manufacturing, in their ability to produce, here locally in the United States. And I know we saw a report recently that there's I think 2 million square feet of manufacturing space that is either brand new or in the process of being opened by the end of this year. So clear that the demand is strong, and that manufacturers feel it's going to stay that way to the point where they're making these investments. So talk about that a little bit. What that is going to do for the space to have all of this new manufacturing capabilities here, for the supply chain, for the industry, and just for consumer demand in general.
Yeah, definitely. Great question. And I know we'll get into furniture here in a second because I do want to touch on just the supply chain issue on the furniture side of things. But this is a good segue, talking about the bedding supply chain into, yes, they're having their issues, but these manufacturers, they see, they see just this consumer uptick of purchasing and wanting product now. And so these manufacturers, TSI, Corsicana, SSB, and just a lot of these manufacturers, they are investing, and they're investing in a huge way into their brands, into making sure they can get product out. TSI, for example, they are literally they just opened up a huge plant in Dallas, Texas. Massive, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of square feet. They plan to open up a new facility at the end of the first quarter on the West Coast. This is going to be their 30th factory in North America. It's just, they're seeing what is happening and they know they have to invest. Corsicana just came out and, they are opening up almost 400,000 square foot facility in Corsicana, Texas. It's going to be a training facility, learning and development facility, and then a manufacturing facility, all rolled up into one. It's going to be almost like a campus style. Wow. And which is incredible. I'm so happy for them. This is their 50th year. They've been great partners of ours, and excited about hearing what they're doing. And then you take SSB. They're, all their facilities are open. They're reinvesting and making them better. And all of our bedding manufacturers have done an incredible job of looking forward, being forward thinking on the bedding business is good. So what can we do to make it better? And they're looking strategically throughout the U.S. to invest and make these facilities as best as possible for the retailers. So
yeah, absolutely. And obviously easy to talk about that, while we're talking about bedding and sort of the supply chain there. Just neat to see, it's not even just manufacturing, but you mentioned Corsicana with the training. It'll be cool to visit those places, I imagine, and see how they're operating and not even just for us, for retailers that maybe get a chance to pop by and see how things work there and what's going on. But let's talk furniture. You mentioned it. How are things on that side of the business? I'm sitting here in a home office. I know that's still top of mind for a lot of people, and I don't mean to keep plugging them, but night and day, they're still they're right here. Why not do it, right?
You love it, don't you, huh? You love it.
It's there.
It's a great piece. It really is, Rob. So furniture, it's so good things, bad things. I can tell you that it is rocking right now. And consumers are still at home. They've been at home for a year and a half. The travel and tourism industry, it's 1.5 trillion dollars a year that go through this, and it is unbelievable that the travel and tourism industries, it's one of the hardest hit industry, and there's so much of that income that needs to be spent, and it's getting spent on the home. And so the furniture industry is very strong right now. It's going to continue to be strong, but their issue is their supply chain. They have their own set of concerns and challenges, just like the bedding industry has had, but the bedding industry is getting better. The furniture industry is still struggling, and it's going to continue to struggle. I'm not going to, call out any of these manufacturers, but I mean, they're quoting lead times into 2022, which is absolutely good. So that means if you place an order right now, you're not going to get that until 2022. We've got some retail. I got a report of a retailer that's got over $100,000 order into one of these manufacturers, and they can't get it until 2022.
Wow.
They're dealing with lumber. They're dealing with the springs. And one of the major challenges out there is containers. There's not enough containers out there, or, they're just getting stuck on the docks from overseas, just for whatever reasons. And it's just causing a massive issue to just get product. But I say that there are manufacturers out there that are better than others. And so there is product that's getting out there. Upholstery is on fire right now. Motion upholstery is on fire. Like you mentioned, home office. I mean, that home office industry is up over 35%, which is crazy. And if you would ask me that, a year or so ago, I'd say the home office is struggling, but people are realizing that, working at home, things can get done, and the home office industry is exploding. And just like, and upholstery is on fire. I mean, just the whole industry is on fire right now, which is great for our retailers. And so right. I'm real excited about that. But I just wish I had better news on the supply chain, because it is it is struggling, and I don't see it getting better at least until Q3, Q4 at least. So.
Gotcha. No, it's honest, and we like to be able to at least tell retailers what to expect. And you mentioned it though, that there's still opportunity in certain areas in this space, which is kind of what I was going to follow up with. And you talk about home office and sort of what this space has done to this past year could have been a little different if it wasn't for the home office. I feel like
I agree. You think about it, Rob. Think about, just take us. We've got a lot of employees. Yep. We were home for, we've been home for over a year almost. And then you think about all these skyscrapers. I think about this all the time. Think about the skyscrapers that have all these, these corporate offices there that, that are empty right now. Everybody's at home. And they've been at home, and they've been on these Zoom calls. And, while they're on these Zoom calls, they might be looking around and looking at their desk that was, from 1960, that was passed down from their grandparents or whatever. And, you know what? I think it's time to me to get that. And then, you got your sofa, that you've been on. And, I'm not taking that trip to Disney World this year. I'm going to go invest in and spend some money on some sofas or a new mattress or stuff. So there's a lot of industries out there that got hurt this year. There's a lot of them. And, we are fortunate enough to be in the business that we are in. And, I'm happy for our retailers that are out there, because they deserve this. They deserve to keep on being healthy and being help in their community and things of that nature. And it's they don't get me wrong, they've all had their challenges. They're all facing challenges, but I think 2021 is going to be a very positive year for everybody. They got to continue to work it. They got to continue to advertise and continue to promote financing, and make sure the websites are up to date. And digital advertising is such a huge thing right now. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of going through all those statistics, but
it's important.
It's so important. And I know you love what you do, and I love what I do. Just being able to help these independents, make some money and, take it back home to their families. So.
Absolutely. And part of that too is innovation, not just on the digital side, but in stores with product and things like that. And I know you've got some things going on that we can talk about. So tell me what's going on. I know it's on the mattress side, and that's a space that's seen some innovation of late.
It is. There's a couple of things I just want to, let everybody know that's coming up. I want to talk about Ben the Box for a second. Ben the Box is, it's here. It's not going away. And, in 2020, it was roughly about 30% of the entire bedding business. 2021, we're looking, it could be 30 to 35%. And so, we've always had vendors that got in the bed in the box game, but the F&B division, for some reason we just didn't emphasize it. I'd be the first one to say it. And so we are actually starting March 1st. We're starting our bed in the box initiative, we're really going to help our members guide, navigate through the bed in the box process, give them the most opportunity, let them see all the opportunities that our vendors are providing. And, so what we're doing starting March 1st, we're actually making a centralized location in MemberNet, where we're going to house all the information about bed in the box that our vendor partners have, Resident Home, SSB, TSI, Corsicana. If you're in the bed in the box game, we're going to have all that information located there. And then we're going to have all the bed in the box industry news that's coming out. And so if you want to know anything about bed in the box, you're going to be able to go there. And that's phase one of what we're doing. We do have a few phases into this. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag on what phase two is, but that'll be coming mid-year. And then we've got some great things in 2022. But be on the lookout for March 1st, the Nationwide Bed in the Box initiative on MemberNet, just kind of bringing it all into one location and just letting you choose and the right vendor and how to get into that.
So if you are listening right now, it is live. So this will be published and up by March 1st.
Oh, nice.
Right after March. It'll be on March 1st or 2nd. So as we're sitting here a couple days before. So it will be live. So be sure if you're listening to this right now, you can hit pause and go check it out and then come back and finish our podcast here. But
I love it.
That's awesome. And, a space that's obviously garnered a lot of attention. You're seeing it everywhere. You're seeing Super Bowl ads. I believe this year we saw a couple. So cool to see that initiative kick off, and we'll be looking forward to what's coming in this space.
Right. I mean, obviously, we know that the bed in the box product is not going away, and so we just want to have some opportunity for the members to be able to see what's out there and who's doing what and how they're doing it. And we always feel that the higher end goods is best for our retailers and consumers, but the bed in the box is it's a lower price item, but there are people that want that, and so we want to give that opportunity to let the members see what's there. So we're excited about it.
That's awesome. So March 1st, and then a couple days later, about 2 weeks later, we'll be sitting in front of our computers again. I don't know what is.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Mid-March. There's something happening.
Carry the one equals. So what's going on, Rob?
I think it's virtual PrimeTime is what we'll call it. That thing is happening.
That little bitty thing that we got going on.
So let's talk about that. I know you've got. I mean, there is so much F&B news about virtual PrimeTime this year. We'll see the return of. I'm not going to steal your thunder because I'll let you dive into it, but we're going to see the return of Mattress University. There is Furniture Forum that's kicking off. I mean, there's a million ways we could start and talk about PrimeTime, but I'll let you pick where you want to go, and I'll follow your lead talking about this. So let's have it.
Oh, I love it, Rob. So virtual PrimeTime mid-March. So the first thing I want to say is I can't tell you how proud I am of my team. Johnny Lamp, Chad Fisher, Karen Young, Mike Darrow. The team got together and we wanted to make this show special. Trust me, we all wanted to be in Denver together in person. But once that was finalized and, we knew we were going virtual again, we said, what can we do to make this special, make it exciting? And so the team brought it, and we just went through a bunch of supply chain issues and all the challenges some of these manufacturers have, and we've worked hard to just bring a lineup of, we've got 30 plus vendors that are going to be there. Really excited about that. And we've worked hard with these great manufacturers to bring some really incredible offers, show specials, some incredible Palooza offers that we're going to be doing and having for the great membership of Nationwide. So, so we've got the vendors there. We've got the offers there, and then, learning is such a big part. And so we worked with Mike Whitaker and his team on Learning Academy and, how could we make it different this year? And so what we did is, we've got 8 product vendors that are coming in and just talking product. Real excited about this because a lot of our members haven't been able to go to a furniture market in a while. And so this is just straight product information. And so membership, make sure you check out those vendors. And if you want to see what's new with those vendors on product, make sure you go check them out. And then Mike came up with a great idea just to talk about emerging brands. And so we have 4 or 5 what we call emerging brands that are in our portfolio, but we thought that they're doing really great things that you might want to check out. So these learning academies are more about who these vendors are and why you should bring them into the fold. Really excited about that. So we got learning down, we got offers down, and the vendors down. So what about key vendor updates? And so we're fortunate enough to be able to sit down with Serta Simmons Bedding and their leadership. We've got their chief sales officer and their chief marketing officer, Melanie Hewitt and Derek Miller. And so we had a great interview with them just to talk about everything that's SSB. We were able to sit down with Steve Rusini, who is their president of North America sales, and Scott Warlick, who's the VP of buying groups. We were able to sit down with them and talk about everything TSI, all the exciting things, what's going on with Tempur and Sealy. And then for the first time ever, we were able to get Ashley Furniture in. And so we've got a sit down interview with Rick Coppola from Ashley Furniture, who is their president of North America, and going to be able to talk shop with Ashley Furniture and let the membership hear what's going on with Ashley Furniture. So really excited about that. And so we've got interviews, we've got learning, we've got offers and vendors. And so what else could there be? I want to talk Mattress University real fast.
Bring it home.
Bringing it home right here. So we got Mattress University. Mattress University has been a staple for Nationwide Primetime for many, many years. And so we wanted to make this one just dynamic and interactive. And so what we did is it's all about the consumer journey. All right. So first we have our very own just Queen Digital herself, Miss Jennifer Danko, coming in hot. And she's going to be talking consumer journey on the website and digital side of things. And so how do you get that consumer into the store through websites and digital? She's going to knock that out of the park. So then next, once they get into the store, what about that consumer journey? So we've got a very fun and interactive Mattress University session with Bob Muckle. And it's called, are you ready?
Give it to me.
It's called Doofuses and Darlings, the do's and don'ts of the consumer journey in store. It's
That's
great.
Awesome.
It's so good. So don't be a doofus, be a darling, everybody. And so you got to check that out. So once they go there, next is you talked about innovation earlier.
Yep.
So we've got innovation in bedding. We've got our very own director of bedding, Chad Fisher from Nationwide, just going to talk to you about a lot of the key vendors that have brought technology into bedding. Talk about just the adjustable bases, and there might be a special guest from Google about what they're doing on there. So jam-packed Mattress University. Make sure you check it out, Nationwide family. So it's going to be good.
Fantastic.
But guess what?
I know you guys are upping it this year.
There's one more I got to talk about. One more.
Like the Apple moment, though. One more thing.
One more. So excited about this, Rob. This is we've been talking about this for a while. Mattress University has been a staple, okay, but we've got its brother on the side over here who's been wanting to get in the game forever. All right, furniture. Furniture's been like in the corner. Hey, Mattress University, it's all about you. I want to get in the game. Guess what? Furniture's in the game now. So
today's the day.
We are launching Furniture Forum. All right. This is just this is going to be its standalone, network with furniture questions, answers. And so what we're going to be doing is we're really going to launch it in Nashville, really expanded in Nashville, but we wanted to have a little something special here at Virtual PrimeTime next in March. And so we have sent out invitations, and we're taking our first 50 members that come in. Okay. And this is going to be the only live furniture and bedding session out of the whole entire Virtual PrimeTime. And so it's a roundtable discussion. And so we're going to break out these 50 members and into 10 different groups. We're going to have 5 in each group. We're going to have an NMG moderator. We've got key questions about challenges and successes and best practices that we want to share. We're going to have the moderators take these notes. Then we are going to compile these notes into a nice outline for the entire membership to see. Just, we're going to ask these questions, hear these responses, and then send it out to the membership so the membership can read and say, you know what, and take a look at what everybody said. So I don't know about you. I'm exhausted. Just from explaining. We haven't even got to the show yet.
I was gonna say, talk for my watch is on this hand. You talk for a good bit. That is a lot, and I mean,
hey, are you making fun about how much I was talking? Are you saying we're up against the clock? I mean, I know you said this was a 10-minute podcast. I know we're 45 minutes in. I think
not one bit. Not making fun at all. But what that tells me is that there is an absolute treasure trove of information and offers and product to be excited about. And that's just the F&B space of Virtual PrimeTime. So, I mean,
I know Lee over at Electronics. They're going to kill it. I know Doug and his team. They've got some great things at appliances. Even Chris Kirk over at Member Services. I know he's got something going on. So, membership. It's going to be an incredible prime time. You've got to make sure you attend. So,
absolutely. And I have a ton to look forward to. And I mean, we're hopping in and out of sessions and seeing what's going on. So, we all crave that in person, and I know Nashville, if and when we get back there is going to be, it's going to be something. Get ready, get yourselves ready for that. But,
it is. It's going to be great. I mean, I heard you might get on stage and sing in Nashville. Is that true? No, I didn't hear that.
No, you didn't. No, you did not hear that. You did not. Absolutely did not hear that. If I am, then I don't know. We'll have that conversation.
The fear in your face right there was great.
I thought about it for a second. I was like, nah, I can't subject anyone to that.
Hey, Rob, I know we're up against the clock. It's always a pleasure being with you, man. Just everyone, Rob's got a new baby too. Congratulations, Rob, on the new baby. I know you're not getting much sleep, so just wish you nothing but the best, my friend. So
thank you, and you as well. And it's always great chatting with you. And we'll do it soon in person, and it'll be a good time. And but until then, appreciate it. Appreciate all the updates on Virtual PrimeTime and the industry. And we'll keep chugging along, man. Keep doing what you do.
Well, thanks, bud. And we'll be in touch, bud.
All right. And a huge thank you again to Jeff for taking time and sharing some awesome updates with us, his insights on the supply chain and how things are going. And then just a lot of work happening on the Virtual PrimeTime side for him and his team. So great things to come. Appreciate him peeling back the layers of that onion and letting us know what's going on, and look forward to seeing what they do at Virtual PrimeTime. So, but as always, appreciate him taking time and chatting with us, and of course, you taking time to listen to the Independent Thinking Podcast, and we will catch you next time.